All right. Hello. Hello. How are you? Good evening and welcome to this live stream. My name is Emmanuel Ayaba, and we started to do what we're doing now because people need to get some information, things that could help them, things that could actually an integral part of our existence. So, what the devil has tried to do these days is to see how they can do nothing but put pressure on families here. So, the enemy has a way of putting so much pressure on families. So at Raw Impact Africa TV, we do one thing: we bring you solutions and issues, how to fix some of these life-threatening issues that can actually affect your relationship and bring it down, because that is actually the handwork of the enemy. Yeah, the enemy came to kill, steal, and to destroy. But guess what our Lord Jesus Christ has done? He has come to give us life and give us life in abundance. So the enemy has actually understood that the best way he can use to suppress human beings and people today is to make sure he affects their relationship. He affects their relationship, affects their marriages, and put chaos into a family. So today we will be looking at some of the ways to know that, see, this relationship is not going to work. See, the way it is in life, every relationship from the beginning, you can actually tell or know that this one is going to work and this one is not going to work. The red signs are always there from the beginning. From the time you start dating the person you're dating, you begin to notice the red signs. But the only thing is that we just choose to ignore, as in make it be say, okay, you did put effort, you did try, no, 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 no. The red signs are always there. So today I will be trying to expose how to know from the onset that is not going to work, so that you won't begin to cry of heartbreak or other challenges tomorrow. The first thing that you know that a relationship is not going to work is once the relationship lacks communication. Just forget it. It's not going to work. It won't last. Once you just know, once your relationship lacks communication, you're with a guy who wants to marry you, or you're with a girl who wants to marry you, and both of you are together. When you guys are together, you don't find out that to communicate is an issue, as in you guys struggle to have conversation. Just know it's not working, it's not going to go anywhere. Relationship is something that communication plays a very integral role when you must keep a relationship or a marriage. Communication is so vital and important, and that's actually one of the things people neglect so easily. You're dating a guy, all the communication both of you have is just give me money, give me money or give me sex. Those are just the two things you people just, that's the two common conversation you people have. You come as the woman, all you come to do is to collect. Then from the man, all he comes to do is to give. You people are just, as in, it's more like it's a contract thing. So the first thing to know, once you know that you're in any relationship and you find out that communication is a big problem, my dear sister, run. You can't sustain it. Because when the chips are down tomorrow, what can actually keep and sustain both of you is the fact that you have something to talk about. When you see people who communicate, they could, the people who gossip the more in life are husbands and wives. If you just need to see husbands and wives gossiping, they'll gossip about virtually everything. Gossip, 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 gossip. Once you know that you can gossip with your spouse, just know that that relationship is going to last. But once you know that you don't have anything to talk about, you wouldn't just have any common thing to talk about. It's a big problem. It's a big challenge. It's not going to work. You might think that it's going to work that first time. You will be doing lovey, lovey, lovey. Oh, my sugar, my sugar, my sugar. Just forget it. Naturally, the chips are going to be down. And once the chips are down, it's all gone. It's not actually going to work. The next thing to note, if you know that, for you to know that this thing is, the relationship or marriage is not going to work, is when there's disrespect and contempt. The next thing to note, if you know that, for you to know that this thing is, the relationship or marriage is not going to work, is when there's disrespect and contempt. Once you see a lady that every little opportunity she gets, all she does is to insult the man. Every little opportunity she just gets, she will insult the man. She will tell the man how useless the man is. Tell the man how he's a very bad dresser. Then he will just wash the man, and before you know it, once a lady starts doing that, my dear, just know it's not going to work. I tell you, some of us, this thing is not as if it's rocket science. Some of us who have had some relationships in the time past can actually tell. Just do everything, do a recap of your life when you were coming up. I remember a girl I used to see those days. I went to drop her. She had an event, and I went to drop her, and she told me that I can't follow her inside. Why? Say my shoe was bad. You understand? Imagine that kind of thing. I felt very bad. I cried. I entered inside my car and was crying. You know, but those are all the signs that actually made me know that this thing is not going to go. A girl that loves you, whether with bad shoe, she will won't make you fool and go the place. She's proud of her man. She's actually proud of the person following her. She's not proud about the things you're wearing. Like some guys, you ask them, okay, what's your spec? They'll begin to mention specs to you. Okay, I love a girl with big boobs. I love a girl with big bum bum. I love. Once a man begins to describe all the different things he loves in a woman, just know that thing is not going to work. I tell you, it is not going to work. It's going to crash before it even begins. That's because you've already placed your limitation on the physical thing you're seeing. When you now go proper inside, you now begin to see that there are a lot of things you're expecting that you cannot have again. And once you now get to that level, my dear, the next thing that will happen tomorrow is the fact that, in fact, I want out. And once it begins to, you begin to find yourself in that dimension and that level, just know, say, the thing don't go. The other thing that you know that is not going to work is once you begin to have trust issues with your spouse. A lot of people always have trust issues with their spouse. Little thing like this, when I don't ask her where you did, she will tell you, oh yeah, make video call. Oh yeah, turn around. Oh yeah. You're choking the lady, you're choking the man. Once you, in fact, you don't already go. You don't already go. See, it's already payment on arrival. It's already gone. So don't even think about it. Once trust issues begin to come to play, you're going somewhere as a man, you're going somewhere as a woman, you left your spouse at home. Just already develop an ambience of trust and not know that she's okay where she is, she's doing what she needs to do. Enough for you just to be worried. Yes, some people I know of. I had a friend who will be calling. He will call the wife. The wife is in London. He's in Nigeria. He'll be calling the wife video call 24 hours. As in, you just call the wife and put it on video call and keep it there and be working. All because you want make you know say you're stable and you're not cheating. You're not messing around. You're not cheating. All those things cannot sustain or keep a marriage or relationship. Once you have a spouse who is always having trust issues where you are, my brother, just run for your life, because the way people call garbage in, garbage out, the way you enter, that's how you're definitely going to live. Another thing for you to know that a relationship or marriage is not going to work is when there's so much financial disagreement. As in, when any of the spouses just touches money like this, bam, the other person body go on the shaka. He just wants to know how you're going to spend this money, why you're going to spend this money. As in, just wants to know everything. Once you begin to relate like that with your spouse, the next thing your spouse will begin to do is you start hiding things from you. And once your spouse starts hiding things from you, distrust has already entered. So you should try not to have financial disagreements. Let your spouse know how much you're earning. Let your spouse contribute. Allow your spouse to control her money, you control your money. Once there's anything you both of you need to do at home, you can do it together. It's not a big deal for you now to start to want to control so much about her. Especially the worst is with the guys. You now begin to be like, I'm the man of the house. Don't you know I'm the man of the house? Once you start having all those kind of thoughts in your mind, the relationship is already headed to doom. Another thing that makes relationships for you to know it's not going to last is when both of you have different values and goals. See, you cannot, I cannot carry you along when you're not going my direction. You see, there's this saying, people always want to like, director, carry me along. Director, you're not carrying me along. How can I carry you along when both of us are not going in the same direction? It's not possible. If I must carry you along, you must be someone who is going on my direction. That's just a simple truth. Once the person is not going on your direction, forget it. It's already payment on arrival. So spouses should try to know and understand and see the reason why they should have the same goals and values. They should think alike. They- don't think that there are no disagreements. There's no marriage or relationship without disagreement. Disagreements will definitely come when they will come. But what's really important is the fact that both of you have the same goals and values. Both of you think alike, you do things alike. Even if you argue when you need to argue, always see reasons why you should all be on the same page. And once you begin to be on the same page with your spouse, then you know that you're headed to victory. Even when challenges come, you find out that you can sustain it. The other one that should make you know that a relationship or marriage is not going to last is when there is abuse. Abuse could be physical, emotional, or verbal. The worst of them all is even sexual abuse, which is actually more common with ladies. Once they see that, okay, they're having issues with their wife, the first thing they begin to do is that they want to starve your sex. That is abuse on its own. Why we, the guys, the easiest that happens to us is you begin to assault the person physically. Once a relationship starts with abuse, I've heard when some ladies will say, I can't leave him because he always beats me. My brother, once a man begins to lay hands on you or touches you, just know that you're already headed to do. It's actually not going to work. I don't know the pastor that's going to pray for you to make that thing work. Once a man starts abusing you, there are some men when they abuse you verbally, they will bring down your emotional status, as in they will make you worthless, so worthless. You can't even stand, you can't even say a word because they've already demoralized you. A spouse is supposed to encourage you. A spouse is supposed to give you encouraging words, words that will enliven you, words that will make you begin to operate in a very high dimension and level. But rather, they will tell you things that will just bring you down, as in bring you down, down, down. And before you know it, you're already thinking something else. And before you know it, you're already thinking to do things that you're not supposed to do. So abuse is one of the ways you will know that a relationship is actually not going to work. Another one that we should also know that will make you know that it's not going to work is when there's lack of intimacy. Intimacy is one of the breakup. It actually starts from sex. Once you begin to know that your sexual life with your spouse is it's not something you don't look up to or forward to, it's already gone. So all you need to do now is begin to look for ways and avenues where you can try and revive your sexual life. It's only when you're able to revive your sexual life that you can now begin to know that, yes, we're coming back to what we used to be. But once communication begins to cut, the next one now is you touch the woman in the night, she tell you, please, please, please. Today she will get headache, tomorrow she will get toothache, tomorrow you get nose ache. Every part of her body will dey pain her. Just know that you're headed for problem. If a woman begins to complain like that, just know that she's gone. And when she begins to complain too much, that which means she's beginning to listen to someone outside. So you as the guy, what are you still doing there? Just now, another way to know that a relationship or marriage is not going to work is when you begin to control your spouse's behavior. You know, we all are different. We're created differently. In fact, God created us uniquely and differently. Now, marriage is when two different people decide to come together to live as one. That's what it is. So once somebody now begins to now come automatically and begin to reprogram your mind, your brain, and everything about you, all the things you've ever liked or loved, he just begins to make you know and understand that all of these things you're talking about, they don't exist, they don't stay. You just need to now adapt to his own lifestyle. It's already a red flag. You just run away from it. I've cancelled a few female actors who like this guy wants to marry me, but he said before you come and see my parents, he wants to marry you. It's already a red flag. He should not ask you to stop acting. Rather, he should rather talk to you and know how you can make that acting better. Yes, he should try to help you make it better. He should follow you for auditions. He should escort you to auditions. He should escort you with help you with your script, help you plan your work. Somebody now will tell you, okay, you're a director. Say, I beg, all those directors, I know get their power until they like women, until they follow women. Leave, no do film again. Can't go find 9 to 5 work and do. And this someone that all his life he has always wanted to be a director. Just come because of marriage. You can't tell him to come and change what his profession is, or it's already a red flag. The woman who begins to turn your perception, turn your mindset, turn your character, turn your goals already, is already trying to manipulate and turn you upside down. Only when you know that that thing is not success, you're not succeeding in what you're doing. And you said, when you're not succeeding in what you're doing, you will know. So once a spouse begins to try to control everything about your livelihood, your behavior, your values, just know that you're heading somewhere. Once another way to know that there's a red flag is when the person avoids conflict. You see, when you're not having conversation with someone, you always want to, instead of addressing issues, you want to sweep them under the carpet because you don't want to talk. Once you have that kind of lifestyle, it's a red flag. When issues come up, right, always look for an avenue to talk about it. Yeah, at times it could be difficult because everybody's trying to look for who is going to come forward to have this conversation. The lady wants the man to come, the man wants the lady to come. There will be the line. Before you know it, 1 day, 2 day, before you know it, you just sweep it on the carpet. It's a red flag. When things come up, when things happen, look for a way, trash it, and move on. Once you trash it and move on, just know that you're good to go. Another thing you should know, another thing that should make you know that it's headed to doom is when you begin to grow apart. Drifting apart, losing common interest and disconnection. The man will be like, okay, I'm doing this, you do your own, make I do my own. If they had a business before, they will begin to separate the business. The man does not even ask how the woman is doing. The man does not even ask how the man is doing. It's a red flag, especially when you guys started together. So you should always try to look for avenues where you can still continue, even if it's a different business that you're opening for her. You should always still try to follow up. And honey, how did your work go today? Okay, why don't you do it this way? Okay, how do we develop? You just look for a way to have a conversation of something meaningful, something interesting, something that can motivate and spice her up. Once you've gotten to that level and point where you can have that conversation that has to do with her work or her career or her interest, then you know that you are headed somewhere. Not allow that conversation that has to do with her work or her career or her interest, then you know that you are headed somewhere. Not allowing her just to go ahead and do whatever she wants to do. Just know that it's a big problem. Another way to know that a relationship or marriage is not going to work is when there's lack of support. Failing to support and encourage and support each other's growth. You know that your wife is doing something and you've never asked her before, okay, honey, how do we do this? Okay, honey, have you done this? You don't just want to support it anyway. All that you're after is just, okay, me, I'm living my life. You live your life. Once you begin to think and have those kind of feelings, it's already a red flag. It's a no-no. It's actually a big no-no. So always try to support your spouse. Support your spouse in every little way you can. And supporting is actually not just all about Naira and Kobo. No. You can support her in prayers. You can support her by, if she's having a shop, go to her shop, help her do some few accounting work. Just look for a way to support. Any little way you can. It will go a long way and it will make our relationship to last. Infidelity is also another way that you will know that the relationship is already off the hook. Once cheating comes into a relationship, just know that it's headed to destruction. So try and avoid it in any way you can. Just avoid it. Because once it sets in, my brother, problem and challenges have actually set in to that marriage. Power struggles is also another thing that makes you know that your relationship is headed to the rocks. constantly trying to control and manipulate each other, because the woman feels she's earning more money than the husband. She wants to try to manipulate the man. She wants to try to make the man feel she's on top. She wants to make the man feel she pays the bills. Once a spouse just begins to have that thinking in her brain, the relationship is already hitting the rocks. There should not be any element of power tussle. This thing is actually that's why they call it relationship. Relationship meaning two people coming together to work as one. They now come together to act as one. Once you now begin to think you're acting in isolation, you can do anything you want to do. You do things without even carrying your spouse along. You just want to, it's already hitting the rocks. It's not going to survive. Another thing we should know that makes you know that the relationship is hitting the rocks is when you disconnect from friends and family, isolating yourself from loved ones. That is actually the easiest way to know that it's already off. You see, a wife will start, before you know it, the wife will cut the husband away from all of the husband's people. The husband too, or the husband will cut the wife away from all her people. No conversation with family, conversation with friends. Just know that it's a big red flag. A woman who introduces you to her family, a man who introduces to his family, or a lady who introduces to her family, shows that you people are one and together. You people are meant to be together. That's the only thing that will make you know. Once they begin to isolate you from friends, isolate you, it's already gone. You cannot have it again. Then the last one is when you now start feeling trapped, feeling stuck, unhappy in a relationship. Once you just begin to sit down and you're thinking and you're like, okay, why am I really doing this? What I'm doing? Why am I really here? Know that you're already headed for the rocks. Don't even, anytime you just sit down, you don't see any good thing in that relationship. Nothing good. Every time you're just thinking of how to live, how to live, how to live. You're already out, and you're already, in fact, it's a red flag. Avoid it. All right. So I hope you're able to get the few things I mentioned here. I was just trying to mention some of the things that will make you know that relationship or marriage is not going to last. You can actually go up and watch and see for yourself that there are a few things that when you put them into cognizance, your relationship and marriage is going to last. Remember, every relationship is unique and no relationship is perfect. There is no perfect relationship anywhere. Anyone who comes to tells you that I have a perfect relationship, I'm not quarrel with my wife, it's a big lie. Capital lie. They always have issues. Even the teeth and the tongue, once in a while they bite each other, but that does not separate them. There is no relationship that is perfect. However, if you are experiencing several of these signs, it may indicate a deep issue and needs attention. If you are concerned about your relationship, consider seeking couples therapy or counseling to walk through your challenges together. Now, getting a therapy is also very important, but the best therapy for me is actually when you make some resolutions on yourself, how you want to run your home. As a young person who wants to get married, sit down, tell yourself, okay, this can happen in my marriage, this can happen in my marriage, this cannot happen in my marriage, this cannot happen in my marriage. Those are the things you just need to tell yourself and understand. And I tell you, when you put these things into cognizance and you hold hands with your spouse to pray and believe in God in everything you want, I tell you, things will just begin to fall in places for you. And before you know it, your relationship is going to work. Stop confusing people, telling everybody marriage is come, marriage is come, who marriage help, all of those things. I just came to realize that most people, when they always want to talk this, now people will say that marriages don't fail. If your own fail, it does not mean another person's own will fail. All what is there is that you did not do what you were supposed to do. It could be a mistake. You could actually still get back to yourself. You could actually still put back yourself together and work it out again. And I tell you something, when it's working again, you find yourself at peace. You find your children at peace. You find your friends at peace. Everybody will just be at peace with you. And you too will be at peace with yourself. Show me a happy woman. I'll show you a woman who is having a happy home. There is no woman who is in a wrong home that is happy. It's not possible. There is no man who is in a wrong relationship that will be happy, no matter how much a person has made. Once you get your marriage or relationship right, 50% of your problem in life is solved. But once you get it wrong, my brother, you have so much work to do. It's very, very easy. Let us stop going for the things that we think are the things we need in marriage. Marriage has nothing to do with big boobs, has nothing to do with big ass, has nothing to do with how much the person is very good in bed. No. All those things are very, very ephemeral. All those things will come and go. What you should understand and know is the fact that once you marry for the right reason, a lot of marriages break today because they marry for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Once you marry for the wrong reason, it's not going to work. You marry a man because you think he's giving you money. It's not going to last. The time will come where you might not have that money. The time will come where you know that you need something more. You don't just need the money. You need something more than just the money. When you begin to have those kind of thoughts in your mind, just know that the problem has come. Now, you are where you are and you feel all these things are happening in your marriage, but you still want it back. It's very possible. How? Go back to drawing board. Have a deep conversation with your spouse. Call him aside. Sit him down. Talk to him. That bro, see, I think we made a mistake here, 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 and here. What do you think? We can work it out. Because to be very candid, yeah, divorce is actually not an option. You're divorcing now. What's the guarantee that the next person you're going to meet is going to be better? Is there any guarantee? No guarantee. So why don't you just look for a way and make what is yours work? And trust me, if you think about it, pray about it, plan about it, and go, you put the devil to shame. And I tell you something, I see your marriage working. I see your relationship working. Thank you so much. If you loved this video and you love what you heard, I want to share this video, share it to your friends, share it to your neighbors. Click on the subscription button. We're going to be having such every Sunday. We'll try to have some relationship talks like this that can actually help spice your marriage, spice your relationship, and make yours. Together, we can take away the enemy from our families. If you believe this, see God working wonders in your marriage and your life. God bless you and see you some other time. I remain Imam Waliaba, your friend. Bye bye.